Story appears ordinary until you see the core side of it.
And what you're looking for is the story behind the news.
We bring it to you from Lagos, the commercial capital of Nigeria.
Giving you all sides and political stories round the clock.
Every detail from the start line to the final whistle.
CoreTV News, expanding your view.
Hello and welcome to CoreTV Primetime News. I am Ebunlomo Adekunle. In a major story, the presidency says the Goodluck Jonathan administration is winning the anti-corruption war, as seen with the nation's improvement on the Transparency International's Corruption Perception Index. Also in this program, Comptroller General of Prisons say 211 escapee inmates from Mina Prison are still on the run. PDP elects senatorial candidates all over the nation as Ekrem Madu others pick tickets. And outside Nigeria, Syria accuses Israel of attacking targets within its territory. And now the details. The presidency says, contrary to what many might believe, Nigeria is winning the war on corruption under President Goodluck Jonathan's watch. Senior Special Assistant to the President on Public Affairs, Donyo Kukbe, made this known in a statement made available to journalists in Abuja. He said the nation's movement from its 144th position on Transparency International's Corruption Perception Index last year to 136th position this year is a clear indication that a lot had been done by this administration in the anti-corruption fight. It says that when the organization gave its verdict in 2013, Nigerians held the view that the federal government was not doing enough to fight corruption. The administration had assured that the Jonathan administration remained focused in its determination to completely eradicate corruption in public service. He said the latest is the rating was approved that Jonathan's effort in the fight against corruption continues to yield positive results. This, he said, was what the Jonathan administration had been doing, and that was the template adopted by countries like Denmark and New Zealand, who are at the top of the TI index. The Comptroller General of Prisons, Peter Ekpendu, says 211 of the 270 inmates released by gunmen that invaded the medium security prison, Mina, Niger State, are still on the run, while 64 of them have been rearrested. Ekpendu made this disclosure while briefing newsmen on the situation of the prison following the attack by the gunmen, during which prison guards were overpowered. While appreciating the complementary efforts of the Army, Police, SSS and other security agencies in stabilizing the security of the area, Ekpendu said search parties have been dispatched and spread over the state to apprehend the fleeing inmates. While adding that investigation had commenced into the attack, he ruled out the involvement of Boko Haram in the attack. The Chairman House Committee on Communications, Oyetunde Ojo, has played down fears over possible impeachment of President Goodluck Jonathan by the National Assembly. Speaking with journalists in Aramoko, Ekiti, he said members of the House of Representatives who recently signed the president's impeachment notice did so in anger at some of the events preceding the signing of the document. Ojo expressed his gratitude to the APC members in Ekiti West, Ijero and Efon local government areas for choosing him as their sole candidate, saying their decision was in recognition of his landmark achievements during the first 4 years. The Lagos chapter of the People's Democratic Party has joined other state chapters of the party in holding its primaries to elect candidates to fly the party's flag in the senatorial elections in 2015. Oluwaseyi Adegoke, who was at the National Stadium Surulere venue for the Lagos Central Senatorial District primaries, filed in this report.
Apapa, Lagos Mainland, Etiosa, Lagos Island, and Surulere all form the Lagos Central Senatorial District with 3 aspirants jostling for the ticket. After the delegates had voted, the results were announced. Adido Sumo emerged the winner with 130 votes against Olumide Braithwaite and Hakeem Gbajabiamila 7 and 83 respectively.
It's an election within the family, and I want to seize this opportunity to thank members of my party in this senatorial district for doing it again for me. If you recall, I was the candidate for the party in 2011 governorship election. I can only thank our members for reposing another confidence in me to fly the party's flag at the senatorial district.
The aspirants unanimously agreed that the exercise is a good sign for Nigeria's democracy.
Well, it went very smoothly. It was a fair contest. I came second, that's fine. I think the party continues to show its the strength, which is that we are allowed to practice internal democracy. And it was a fair fight, it was a fair contest, and I believe that the candidate will lead the party in the right direction.
Very free, very fair, very peaceful, very well conducted, satisfactory results.
They unanimously agreed that the exercise is a good sign for Nigeria's democracy. Oluwaseyi Adegoke, CoreTV News, Lagos.
A member of the House of Representatives representing Udokwa Ukwani Federal Constituency in Delta State at the lower chamber of the National Assembly, Nicholas Osai Osai, has clinched a ticket to contest the 2015 election on the platform of the PDP. The very influential Delta politician is member of 3 committees in the House of Representatives. These include Communications, Health and Housing and Habitat. He defeated a one-time member of the House, Mercy Alumana Iche, who scored just a vote at the Delta PDP House of Reps primaries on Saturday. Osai Osai polled 91 votes against 18 for its closest rival, Chinoye Daffy, while Eric Anigala scored only 2 votes to place 3rd. Deputy Senate President Ike Ekweremadu has emerged as the People's Democratic Party candidate for Enugu West Senatorial District in the 2015 election. Ekweremadu was returned unopposed with 294 votes cast by delegates from all 5 local government areas in the district after Governor Sullivan Chime withdrew from the race. Total delegates were 315, but 299 delegates were accredited, out of which 294 endorsed the Deputy Senate President, who was unopposed. 5 votes were declared invalid. In his acceptance speech, Ekweremadu announced his resolve to back Ifeanyi Ugwanyi, the man the incumbent Enugu State Governor had chosen as his successor. He also dedicated his victory to God and Governor Chime, whom he described as his friend and brother. Plateau State Governor Jonah Jang has won the ticket of the People's Democratic Party for the Plateau North Senatorial Zone. Jang polled 273 votes in the primary election held in Jos to beat his sole challenger, former ambassador to Ukraine Ibrahim Kasai, who got 18 votes. The results for the 2 other senatorial tickets are still being expected. Former Plateau State Governor and incumbent Senator Joshua Dariye is the front-runner in Plateau's Central Senatorial Zone, while former FCT Minister General Jeremiah Hussaini is seeking the PDP senatorial ticket for the Southern Zone. Former Aviation Minister Stella Odua has defeated Marjorie Okadigbo, the wife of one-time Senate President Chuba Okadigbo, to pick the People's Democratic Party PDP ticket for Anambra North. Odua polled 259 votes to beat 3 other aspirants, while Okadigbo got 8 votes. Sam Ikefuna polled 10 votes, while John Emeka had 15 votes. It's the Core TV Primetime News. We'll take a break and we'll return with more stories. Please stay with us.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, dear Professor.
My former students.
Happy birthday.
Every day, life is made better by the moments of surprise we create for others and for ourselves. Be better. Surprise someone this season and make sure to text 11 to 400 to get a surprise from MTN.
MTN, everywhere you go.
Thank you so much for being there. And if you're just joining us, it's the Core TV Primetime News, and here are the stories that made our headlines. The presidency says the Goodluck Jonathan administration is winning the anti-corruption war, as seen with the nation's improvement on the Transparency International's Corruption Perception Index. Comptroller General of Prisons say 211 escapee inmates from Mina Prison are still on the run. PDP elects senatorial candidates all over the nation as Ekwere Madu picks tickets. The People's Democratic Party senatorial primaries in Ekiti State have left many people with tales to tell. The winners of the primaries were announced. It was with controversies and disruption of primaries. Rashid has more on this.
Earlier, before the commencement of the primaries, a senatorial aspirant and former Senator Shola Akinyede issued a stern warning over fear of possible manipulation of the primaries.
If PDP is not careful, the people of Ekiti will move against PDP, even in not only in the National Assembly elections, senatorial election, and even the presidential election. So we need to be careful. Ekiti people voted for PDP because they wanted PDP. So it's dangerous for anyone to presume that they can doctor or toy with the fate of the Ekiti people. So I want to send a warning.
And the realization of a sphere in Ekiti South Senatorial District, the primaries was conducted in 4 out of 6 local governments before it was disrupted, though former Deputy Governor Abiodun Olujimi was declared as the winner. At Aramoko Ekiti, the venue of the Ekiti Central Senatorial primaries, though voting was orderly and calm, with aspirants having a premonition of what is to come after the exercise recent fair of the conduct of the primaries.
My expectation is to see a free and fair senatorial primary election in my party, the PDP, and I expect to win this primary election of my party. We hope that it will be completed in this manner.
At the end of the voting exercise, 29 voided votes was deducted from the total vote of an aspirant, which paved the way for Fatima Rasaki to emerge as the winner. She has this to say for her co-contestants.
As a party faithful, maybe today might be my turn, tomorrow may be your turn. As a party faithful, you just have to take whatever happens with good faith. And I will advise them that they should move on. And there are so many positions in the party that one can vie for. It's not compulsory or necessary that you have to contest for a legislative position.
With Duro Fashe also declared as the winner in Ekiti North, the fear of imposition by some of the aspirants may have come to pass, but reactions are still expected from the party leadership to explain how it all went. Rashid, CoreTV News.
The lone senator representing Federal Capital Territory, Philip Aduda, has emerged the candidate of the People's Democratic Party ahead of Ireti Kingibe. Aduda was declared winner of the primary election with 255 out of the 263 valid votes. Ireti Kingibe, who is the wife of Babagana Kingibe, got 2 votes, while the third aspirant, Oluwatoyin Matthews, had no vote. A fourth aspirant, Yakubu Kudambo, withdrew from the race a few minutes before actual voting began. And the biggest casualty of PDP's Senate primary is Senate leader Victor Ndoma Egba. He lost his bid for 4th term in the Senate to a member of the House of Representatives, John Eno. Eno, who was the choice of Cross River State Governor Liel Imoke for the seat, polled 217 votes to Ndoma Egba's 37. A third aspirant, Mark Egbe, scored 20 votes. The Senate leader had represented Cross River Central since 2003 and is regarded as one of the most cerebral members of the Senate. The All Progressives Congress House of Representatives primaries went without any hitch in Ekiti State. The primaries, which was keenly contested by aspirants, produced most candidates by election, while some were elected on consensus. Rashid monitored the primaries and brought back this report.
The opposition status of the All Progressives Congress in Ekiti State did not make the House of Representatives primaries fall short of its standard, as delegates trooped out en masse to vote for the candidates of their choice in respective constituencies across the state. Areas monitored by CoreTV News like Ekiti Central Constituency 1 in Ado Ekiti, Constituency 2 at Aramoko, Ekiti North Constituency 1 and Ekiti South Constituency 2 show a keenly contested primaries, but the whole exercise was described as hitch-free by the APC leadership.
It has been wonderful, it has been fantastic, it has been fair, it has been free. Our people are happy, and I know that all Nigerians watching the process will be happy with us. We are going to deliver the best, the choice of the people, not the people, the person that all the people agrees with is the one that's going to win this election.
In Ekiti Central Constituency 2, it was a walkover for Oyetunde Ojo as he emerged with consensus vote, though he agrees it's not going to be a tea party at the general elections.
Find our parties at the opposition level now in the state, but also their own contestant against me is also on the opposition. By the mandate given to me by the people, I'm still the House of Rep member in this constituency. So I stand with, and I'm telling you, let's leave it till February 14th. But if you want to campaign against somebody, if you want to have a manifesto, I think from the opposition side, be it Labour, be it PDP, be it any party, you have to be a magician or a Jesus Christ or a Muhammad to defeat what is on the ground.
The case is, however, not the same at Ekiti South Constituency 2, as security agents had a hard time with the supporters of the aspirants contesting. The election, however, went ahead after a truce.
Without a shadow of doubt, this is a game whereby it's nothing but politics, whereby everybody should see themselves as one, irrespective of whatever. My calling to everybody would be, let us work for the interest of the party to make sure we succeed in the general elections, and that's exactly what we're all working for.
I have been relating well with other aspirants. We have been chatting, and we have been sharing experience, and we are all satisfied with the process, and I can assure you that we are going to work together.
Thank you very much.
The APC Senate primaries is next in line with promises of the unknown. Rashid, CoreTV News.
Oyo State Chairman of the All Progressives Congress, Akin Okeowo, has urged successful candidates at the primary stage to continue to work harder ahead of the 2015 general elections. The party chairman, who was at Ibadan North Local Government Secretariat to observe the primaries of the House of Representatives, also commended party members for good and peaceful conduct of the primaries. We'll bring you details of that later. As the Ogun PDP failed to hold its senatorial primaries over alleged doctoring of delegates' list and insecurity, the state APC conducted its House of Reps primaries, but not without some shortcomings. Olajumoke Olatuji has more in this report.
It was a day set aside for its senatorial primaries in the state. The PDP party delegates were already assembling until it was announced that the exercise has been cancelled and postponed till Tuesday. CoreTV News gathered that irregularities in the delegates list brought about the development. Some party members, however, say there is likelihood of consensus among Bisola Clark, Ayodele Fijabi and Larry Laoshe, the aspirants eyeing the senatorial slots of the PDP for Ogun Central. Moving to Abeokuta South Federal Constituency for the All Progressives Congress House of Representatives primary election, this delegate seems unhappy with the situation.
There was an accreditation already. So they now say the ballot paper is not complete, which is supposed to be 400 plus. But they brought 416, but they brought 400. The INEC official, they are 3 in number. He now said, one of them said he wants to go and bring the remaining 16 ballot paper. And we've done the accreditation already. Since then, we didn't see the man. Suddenly, the armsmen just came in and asked everybody in the hall to leave the hall.
We don't want that kind of behaviors. So it should leave us to vote whatever candidate we want for ourselves. That's what we want.
In Abeokuta South Federal Constituency, we have 15 wards. We have more than 5 aspirants. We did not vote, but they imposed Honorable Shagun Williams to us. I'm from Ward 13. I'm an escort here. I did not vote, and we are not going to vote general election for Shagun Williams. APC is going to lose Abeokuta South Federal Constituency.
At Akiolugbade Hall, which hosted Obafemi Owode, Abeokuta North and Odeda Federal Constituency, Mokal Kazim scored 778 votes to defeat Benga Additional, who polled 306 votes.
The result is as follows. Honorable Ade Benga Additional scored a total vote of 306, while Honorable Mukai Olaiwola Kasi scored a total vote of 778.
The election went well. It was a free and fair election. There was no hiccups and there was no any ups and downs.
The defeated Additional, like a good sportsman, accepted defeat.
I feel elected. I've gone through it. I've done all I could. The last 14 weeks for me, it's been very gruesome. I spend a lot of time away from my family as well. So, hey, the primary is done. I'm quite happy. And then as you have another, I'm sure as Nigga said, I'll be back.
All the delegates praised the sportsmanship and wished those aggrieved could follow suit for the good of democracy. Olajumoke Olatunji, CoreTV News, Abeokuta.
A pressure group in Lagos known as 90 Million Congress of Nigeria has called on Nigerians and Lagosians especially to choose credible candidates who have the interests of the masses at heart. Leader of the group, Samuel Adebisi, says the masses have suffered unduly under the democratic dispensation, urging people to close ranks to ensure they get what is their right.
And if the masses cannot come together to use our fingers to advocate for the right candidate at the polls, we might continue to suffer. So Mission 90 Million Congress is our NGO, and that's our operational name. Actually, we registered as Mission 90 Million Club of Nigeria. So to mobilize minimum of 90 million Nigerians, to rebrand ourselves, to change our orientations, so that we can know that we should not wait for fraudulent politicians to steal money from one office or the other, to come and bribe us to vote for them, when we know that they will not represent the voice of the masses at any level.
He also called on members of all political parties to elect credible people to fly their flags in the 2015 elections, while also urging delegates of the All Progressives Congress to endorse the aspirants of Enoch Ajibosho
Well,
by voting
actually,
him
based on my personal findings, so many reports had come to me, more especially from Lagos West Senatorial District, that there is this man called Honorable Chief Enoch Kolapomoya Ajiboso. That very man, when he was a local government the local government chairman of Agege, he was very diligent. He was very passionate. He's not bothered about what he makes into his pocket, but he's bothered about the welfare of the masses. And as a result, I told my group if there is a way we can mobilize for such a person, because those are the kind of people that we want we want to represent the masses.
The battle between former President Olusegun Obasanjo and his former political associate Buruji Kashamu has entered another phase. An Abuja High Court has stopped the publication of the retired general's memoirs titled My Watch. The book, which recounts Obasanjo's 8 years in power between 1999 and 2007, is believed to contain uncomplimentary remarks about Kashamu, whom Obasanjo has been engaged in a public fallout. Kashamu is accused of drug pushing and recently lost a case in the U.S. seeking to stop his trial, which has been on for close to 16 years. The chieftain of the People's Democratic Party denied the allegations, saying even Obasanjo allowed state agencies to testify on his behalf in a UK court to clear his name when he was president. Kashamu, who heads the PDP Mobilization Committee in the Southwest, last week filed the motion at an FCT High Court seeking an ex parte injunction restraining Obasanjo from publishing the book. The judge, Valentin Arshi, in an order dated December 5, 2014, granted the injunction pending the determination of the motion on notice fixed for hearing on Wednesday, December 10th. And now we got a report that after initial denial of ownership of the weapon-laden plane detained at the Kano airport, Russia has admitted that the plane is Russian. It's also insisted that the weapons belonged to France. The Russian embassy in Nigeria disclosed this through its Twitter handle at Rusem B. Nigeria. A translation of several tweets sent out by the embassy showed that the plane was chartered by France to airlift the weapons, which include 2 helicopters for its peacekeeping contingent in Chad. The Russian embassy also said it was taking necessary steps to ensure the release of the plane. Nigeria's defense authorities have yet to respond to the new development on the plane. We'll take another break now on CoreTV Primetime News, and when we return, we'll bring you business news.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, dear Professor.
My former students.
Happy birthday.
Every day, life is made better by the moments of surprise we create for others and for ourselves. Be better. Surprise someone this season and make sure to text 11 to 400 to get a surprise from MTN.
MTN, everywhere you go.
The Central Bank of Nigeria Governor Godwin Emefiele has said the fall in the value of the naira are beyond the control of the CBN and the federal government. Emefiele made this known at the bankers' dinner organized by the Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria in Lagos. However, the CBN governor says in trying to defend the naira, the CBN had spent so much and the only way was to devalue the currency. It will come with pains, but it would lead to benefits in the long run, in his words. He says, though there's been a sudden rise in the price of dollar at both the interbank and bureau the change market, Emefiele listed out some factors that attributed to the fall of the naira, some of which are the fall in the global oil prices, the end of the United States quantitative easing program, and the global fall in the price of other export commodities apart from the crude oil. The discovery of shale oil by the U.S. has not also helped matters, he added. In a related development concerning the fall in oil price, the federal government had earlier reduced the revenue benchmark for 2015 budget from $73 to $63 per barrel of crude oil. An economic expert was of the concern why Nigerians are panicking. According to him, there should be no cause for alarm. Gold fell more than 1% over the weekend. Spot gold was down 1.2% at 1,190 naira, $1,190.90 an ounce, while U.S. gold was at $17 an ounce. The data showed spot gold hit a low of $1,186.10, down by 1.6%. For the week, spot gold rose 2% after heavy short covering lifted prices 4%. In China market, Chinese buying remained steady with premiums unchanged at about $1 to $2 on Friday. Data from the Istanbul Gold Exchange showed gold imports into Turkey doubled year-on-year to 46.9 tons in November, its strongest monthly imports in more than 6 years. And now we move to sports stars. Andy Carroll scored twice as West Ham moved up to third in the Premier League with victory against 10-man Swansea. Wilfred Bony had put the visitors ahead with a clinical finish, but Carroll headed in the equalizer for his first goal since March. Burnley again hit the bar before Carroll netted again with a header. Swansea goalkeeper Lukas Fabianski was sent off for a foul on Dafria Sako, who later wrapped up the victory with an emphatic strike late on. The win, West Ham's third in succession, means they have 27 points and are 6 behind second-place Manchester City. Under Sam Allardyce, the Hammers have undergone something of a reinvention this season, playing a more flowing, inventive passing style instead of the direct football they had become known for in recent years. That was on display early on as Swansea, who had not won away from home in the league since beating Manchester United 2-1 in the first game of the season, told in the opening stages. And now outside Nigeria, the Syrian military alleged that Israel carried out 2 airstrikes in Syria near the capital Damascus and in the town of Damas in a statement on Syrian state television. The statement did not, however, say of any casualties in the strike, while there have been no confirmation of the airstrikes from Israel, but Israel has conducted several airstrikes on Syria since 2011. The Syrian army described the airstrikes as direct aggression aimed at helping the Syrian government's opponent, while also adding that some facilities suffered damages without elaborating. The UK-based Syrian Observatory for Human Rights, which monitored the Syrian conflict, said in Arabic that 10 explosions were heard near Damas, which is located close to the Syria-Lebanon border. The group also said that there had been 8 air raids on areas in the town of Khan al-Sheikh on the eastern outskirts of the capital, and that a warehouse near Damascus airport had been hit. Responding to the Syrian accusation, Israel's military said it did not comment on foreign reports. And now, before we go on CoreTV Primetime News, here is a reminder of a major stories. The presidency has said the Goodluck administration is winning the anti-corruption war, as seen with the nation's improvement on the Transparency International's Corruption Perception Index. We also reported that the Comptroller General of Prisons confirmed 211 escapee inmates from Mina prisons are still on the run. Finally, PDP has elected senatorial candidates all over the nation as Ekurem Madu and others picked tickets. And that's it on CoreTV Primetime News for tonight. On behalf of the entire news crew, I am Ebrulomo Adekunle, wishing you a pleasant night rest.